trying to get my content up, and plus I'm trying to get over 1,000 subscribers. So make sure y'all actually subscribe, so we can keep this good channel going. What I would say is this: some been babbling with my mind a little bit about should women allow men to raise their children, and should guys be stepfathers? I feel like that shouldn't be no issue, because if a man want to be a parent to somebody else, I congratulate them, because that might give that man some stability and a lot of discipline, even though you're not raising that child. But the thing is, all children out here need a father. Let me repeat that. All children out here need a father. And if you feel like you want to be selfish enough to say, fuck every child around here and focus on myself, when you have so much potential to give the world, I mean, I can understand the responsibilities, but on just picking a random child and just, but I treat all children like they're mine. No matter what, I treat all children with respect. I give them lessons. And if I see them doing something wrong, I'm going to check them. And if I have that opportunity, I might whoop their ass, then go tell their parents why I whooped their ass. But that's not in all communities. That's not in all cities, so the settings are a lot different than where I'm at. Far from soft, most certainly, but very passive and very evasive, as I should say, at the same time, because it's a lot of things that goes on in this city where it's the same vibe as Chicago and everything else. Everybody's killing each other. Black on black crime. No one care for each other. A lot of suffering. Instead of nipping the problem in the butt, you get grant money, loans, and all this other bullshit out here to throw out there to pamper. But let me get back to the topic of what I'm speaking on, because I feel like, from my experience, it has been very great. And I raised 3 children that wasn't mine. And I loved it. If you ask me whether the experience that came with that, whether a lot of bad moments, whether a lot of bad feelings that was involved with it, yes. But at the same time, as a man, I didn't have my shit together for me to be able to nip shit in the butt as I wanted to. So I had to deal with the problems as they came. But when you find yourself in a more stable position as a man from your doings, and not where another woman have put you on a shelf, but from your doings and things of that nature. And let me get this out there, right? A lot of guys might disagree with me being a stepfather to somebody else's children. You know why? Because y'all sorry asses always looked upon a woman to take care of you and be your God. So you had no choice but to deal with her sorry ass children, because you were sorry and she was sorry at the same time. So that make a big difference. But when you, as a man, find yourself in a position where you able to help other people's children as your own, then that set a whole nother standard of want to be a father. Because I'm telling you, me coming out of the situation I was in and not knowing what I wanted to live for, those children gave me stability. They gave me a reason to say, I got something to live for. Because me, I was wild, I was reckless, I didn't know which way to go, and I was finding myself, but I just didn't know how to truly cross over as I wanted to. And those children and that family helped me to find some stability. Did it limit me from creating and being procreative? To a certain degree, because I was in love with a woman that couldn't have no more children, and she had 3. So I minimized, my options to be able to provide for her children, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, I treat all children like they my children. And I feel that all children should have some type of stability where they have a positive, fluent man in life, even if you fuck or not, you know, because it's like if the situation break up, do you break up with the children too when you just play daddy to them and you just fronted the whole time because you was fucking a mama, but you played father to them when you was with a mama? I feel like that's a whole situation where you was a sucker anyways, because you was taking on a task that you really didn't want to take on just because you was getting pampered to, or you was getting some type of subsidizing help. So when I look at the facts of a man raising somebody else's child, there's nothing wrong with that, because you're going to have the interference a lot of time of a weak ass man that want to step in and tell you how to run your house and tell you what you can and can't do to their children, because I even had CPS called on me. And that was the sad thing about the whole relationship, because it was like, damn, I do so much for your children to help them become better men, but his pride was in the way because he's a drunkard that don't have no stability, you know what I mean, that was living off his mama. So he found himself in a situation to want to be in control of a child's life when he had no control of himself. And that do become a conflict of interest in a man, because it make you just say, fuck it, I give up. I don't know. Of course, me personally, I'm not gonna say you, I can't speak for you, but I'm not going to jail over nobody else's children. I mean, I whoop their ass, don't get me wrong, because I don't spare the rod. I mean, because that was what happened to me. That's not the mission, because I got my ass whooped. That don't mean that I just take off and whoop somebody else's child, but that's where I learned it from as well, though, when it came to the discipline, though. But I just didn't get them an ass whooping like I got ass whoopings, because I got ass whoopings with anything that was around, from a clothes hanger, from a stitching cord, cable cord, things outside. And if it really didn't hurt, then a person go throw them blows on you, especially when you start getting older and get your ass whooped. But that stopped at a certain time, because I was on my own at the age of 15. So you could see why I wanted to be a father in the first place, because by me being on my own 14, 15 years old, running the streets until, you know what I'm saying, I went to prison, whatever the case may be, it became a harsh reality for me where I was already liking older women and dealing with older women. So all the older women I bump into, they had their tubes tied. They couldn't have children. It was just something, you know. And one woman, she got abortion on me because I told her, we just having a sexual relationship. I will take care of the baby, but I'm not going to be with you. So she made it a choice to get an abortion, which I think that was the craziest thing in the world. But, you know, things happen, you know. And like I say, me always dealt with women that was 10, 15 years older than me. So looking at the possibilities of saying I should have a child right now, it wasn't an option for me at that time, because I just didn't think of, you know, that as I do now, to say, man, if I could have had a child then, you know. But to be honest with you, maybe it would have created me to be a more sharper man at an early age. But to be honest with you, whether I'm ready to have a child, I tell you, no, not as ready as I am now. And that's the thing with a man, no matter, I just turned 40. So my thing is this, I could possibly have a child up to 50. They can't reproduce like that as we can as men. You know what I'm saying? So women have the options when they're younger, but as men, if we take care of ourselves properly, then we have the options when we older, because we be, you know what I'm saying, the preference, the choice, you know, the motherfuckers that just got it all, you know, especially if you're on your ones and twos, like I said, and we could keep talking that all day, because when we talk about raising somebody else's children, that money plays a big part in the situation, plays a major part in the situation, because sometimes it become a choice to say, well, do I like this woman and I want to raise their children just because, you know, I'm financially stable and everything else, or that was a forced decision that was upon you, that you said, I don't got nowhere to go. I don't got nothing to live for. I don't got nothing to do. So I like her, but she got children, so fuck it. I'm just going to let it grow on me. And that's why a lot of times you dudes be talking about you don't want to raise nobody else's child, because you was forced upon to live upon somebody that you really didn't want to be with in the first place. It was all about survival to you. But then once you found yourself in a place where you be like, where more options won't you, or you got a different option, or now you on your feet, you be like, oh man, fuck them children, I'll never do this, I'll never do that. Well, was your mind thinking that before? Because from my perspective, most of y'all guys out here losing anyways. And I ain't trying to throw it up on somebody to say, oh, the reason you was a stepdad because you was in a situation. 9 times out of 10, that is the situation, no matter if they got children or not. And I feel like women that's out here fucking and not even knowing who gonna raise your child, because you can't even find a good babysitter. You can't find a person that even watch your child. So why would you even want to have a child in the first place? I guarantee, I talk a lot of shit about Margaret Sanger, but I guarantee she turning in her casket right now just due to a lot of you motherfuckers that's out here that can't get it together. It's nothing wrong with somebody else raising your child. There's nothing wrong with it. But are you in a place where you finding your stability with this man or without this man? Because the man, he gonna be there or he gonna disappear. But the thing is, are you ready for that man? Because this man is not your baby daddy. This man took upon a situation where he didn't have to. So he most certainly should be rewarded and put on a pedestal. Are you ready to submit to that man and put him on that pedestal for taking upon a responsibility that you wasn't ready for, that you didn't have in place, that you didn't have in mind, that you were just going out there to fuck just for pleasure? Now you put this, that's like a motherfucker going to college and saying, I ran up $1 million in financial loans and I want to get married to you, and you never even been to college before. Now you got all this debt up on you for somebody else's well-being. And that's what it's like raising somebody else's child a lot of times. From the woman, when I'm looking at the woman, that's how I feel. But as a man that's willing to raise somebody else's children, no, it don't have nothing to do with that. And my thing is this: a lot of these children just be disrespectful, not caring. They want to fight the stepdad. Stepdad probably end up having to kill them, or they end up having to kill the stepdad and things of that nature. Why is that? Because that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events that been boiling. You never nipped it in the butt from the get-go. So when you look at things from that perspective, you looking at yourself in the mirror like, what have I done? What have I adopted? But you can't be mad. You can't be mad at nobody. You got to be looking at yourself in the mirror. You got to be mad at yourself, because most times you guys get in a relationship, y'all ain't even stable enough to keep the relationship. The only reason you got with that woman because it was a good survival tactic. She was somebody that was willing to accept and take care of your bummy ass. So you was willing to get in a relationship just because she was out there supporting you. What's up, Kenny? What's happening? We up in here, man. Peace and prosperity. Hey, my thing is this. I'm talking this relationship. And the relationship issues that I'm talking, should a guy be a stepfather? Because most of them ain't stable enough in their own life. Most of them have so many problems where they looking for this woman to be a savior. And they really don't like the children because they really don't even like themselves. So that's how you got to look at it in so many different aspects. But I'm up out of here though. But that's a question for y'all. Make sure y'all leave a comment, and make sure y'all hit that like and that subscribe. Peace and prosperity. I just wanted to jump on a live and see what was happening though. But we need y'all to keep on coming. I need more than just one. I need more than Kenny to come through, you know? Seriously. You know, we try to run these